C, and this is our first segment for when Sistahs Get Together's new WSGTtv segment, Sistahs Chat. So what these segments are about is we've brought a group of women here that you're going to see together, dear friends of mine, and we're just going to be talking about different women's issues. Now, a lot of questions were posed online through social media about what things would you ask a group of women if they were to get together and discuss. What would you want them to discuss about? So we've put a couple of these questions that women have given us, we put them in our chat box. And what we're gonna do is during these segments, we're gonna pull out a random question and we're gonna discuss and debate and dialogue about whatever the question is. Now you can send us questions, you can send us through on our Facebook page or through Twitter or whatever, or if you may know some of the ladies here, you can send them a question that we can add to our chat box. But they can be serious, they can be weird, funny, creative, something that maybe you're afraid to talk about that we're not afraid to talk about. So I'm gonna go in our chat box, we're gonna pick out the first question, and I just wanna say thanks for watching Sistahs Chat when Sistahs Get Together. Our first question for the first episode of Sistahs Chat is, why don't women show more love to each other? We don't look out or help each other enough. Protect your sisters. This is a very good one. So, why don't women show more love to each other? So we're gonna get everybody's opinion on that. And like I said, after when we start dialoguing, if you want to go and make your own comments and maybe add on, that would be really great.
I think it's insecurities. Insecurities being reflected and reflected onto other women. And if I've seen a lot of situations where, you know, if a woman's being really successful and doing her thing, and women close to her or around her might feel a little bit of ways or insecure about how what they're doing in their life. I feel like that is one of the reasons that women tend to attack each other and kind of break that trust in that relationship.
Perhaps there's not enough of self-love in terms of, you know, being comfortable with who you are, again with their insecurity issue that you just mentioned. If you love yourself, then everything else just seems to be accepted. You will accept others and you'll be happy for others. And when you don't have that self-love, then you have that insecurity that grows. So I think when you hear someone, you know, is doing better than you, you kind of tend to hate that person because you're not comfortable with yourself. Yeah. So.
And you're already not happy with where you're at currently in your life anyway. So you're your own worst critic. So already, again, the insecurities are playing off of that. So it's a really interesting play. I tend to find that it happens more predominantly amongst Black women. I don't know if anyone else has seen that, but I had brought this up before during a talk where it's just really interesting that sometimes Black women, I'll see them on the street or like on the bus or on my way downtown, and the interactions are always really strained at first. Like it's always kind of like standoffish. Like they're sizing you up, they're trying to see if they trust you or if they like you or if they like how you look or how you're walking or how you're dressed or whatever the case may be. I try and face it always with a smile, but I find that it's always really, it's really intimidating, and I always try and find where the root of that lies. And it could be a number of things, but for me, I try and think why I would react that way to someone else, and the first thing that strikes me, and one of the building blocks that I'm working on, would be insecurities. So.
Sometimes I wonder if it's not even learned in a sense. Like it's not like we were always this way. Women didn't always attack each other. Women were not always this vulgar toward each other. So it leads me to wonder, well, where did this all of a sudden come from? Things just don't all of a sudden just materialize like that. I wonder sometimes if it's the things you even indulge in. What do you listen to at home? What energies are you opening yourself up to on a regular basis? Like if you're in a negative place all the time, chances are when you interact with people, I bet you tend to have a negative outlook on certain things. Whereas if you're with somebody who's happy all the time, they're happy with themselves, they're centered with themselves, their energy is centered, I bet you that person will greet you with a brighter outlook. Like there's a good chance that person would even see you on the street and say hi. As opposed to kissing their teeth, screwing their face, or doing a lot of the things that stereotypically a lot of women tend to do when they interact. Well, I'll just use black women for instance. When black women tend to interact, it is always that way. I'm speaking from experience. These are the things you tend to feel just even to say hi to somebody. I'm the type of woman, I've done this numerous times. If I see somebody in the club and she looks spectacular, I am telling you.
Go up to her and tell her. Yeah.
Women look at me like I am out of my mind. Why are you talking to me? Why do you like my shoes? Why do you think my hair is nice? Why is that such a problem?
Especially when you dress to receive those compliments. I'm sorry, I'm not of the gender that you're
but
wishing
it's
it
funny,
to come
yes, but when it now comes from a positive place as opposed to the negative energy retracting from men by dressing a certain way or whatever the case is, you now don't know how to take it. Because you are not in any light used to even a fellow black woman saying, you know what, I like your hair. I like your shoes, they're cute, you know? It's always who do you think you are with those shoes, or oh, your hair. Yeah, and it's really unfortunate that we have kind of come to a place like that. It's actually kind of sad, really.
For me, when I'm confronted with that kind of negativity, somehow it might not be absorbed during that day and passed on during that day, but it's there. So the next time I see someone just, you know, subconsciously on the bus, I might sneer at them. Not anything that I'd like to do on purpose, but it's just that energy just keeps going, and I just keep passing it on and on and on. So I think it's something that it did start somewhere, it kept going, and now it's just snowballing to a point where we're all kind of looking at it because we all see it now, but we don't really know how we're going to go about dissolving it.